Hey guys, happy new year. I hope you guys are excited about this next season that we're stepping into and just ready to harvest all the seeds that we planted in 2020. I'm super excited because we are starting a brand new series today called Selfology, the study of yourself. And you guys ask me all the time, how do you become self-confident? Like, how did you gain your self-confidence? Different things just about being your best self. And when I was trying to figure out how to incorporate this into the podcast, I was like, a few years ago, this young lady by the name of Rebots, she did a spoken word at this scholarship mixer put on by a bevy called Impress Yourself. And she was talking about selfology, or the spoken word was titled Selfology. And she said, Selfology, the study of yourself, the study of your health, the study of your wealth. I'm feeling myself. Selfology. And so I thought it would be super dope to do a series kind of inspired by that spoken word. So I'll make sure to link her Instagram in the description box below, as well as the show notes, so you guys can check her out. But talking about selfology, each week this month, we're going to go in detail with different aspects about yourself. And so the first thing that we're talking about today, if you peep my shirt, if you're watching on YouTube, my shirt says self-aware is the new black. And this week we are talking about self-awareness. And so when it comes to self-awareness, I feel like a major misconception that kind of happens when we're trying to figure out who we are and what we actually like is that sometimes what we think we like and what we actually like are two different things. Oftentimes, some of the things that we think we like, we only think we like them because we consume it consistently. So whether that's if you're on Instagram and you see a lot of women who are shaped a certain way and you think oh, that's the body type that I want, or that's the body type that I like you might only think that because that's what you consistently consume. It's not what you actually like. Same thing with fashion. It's if someone buys a certain pair of shoes, do you really think those shoes are cute? Or do you only think they're cute because someone else is wearing them? So you buy them because you think you like them because you've seen them on somebody else, but they're actually not shoes that you genuinely like or would have picked up if you never seen them on another person. And so that's just one main thing I definitely wanted to kind of start off talking about when it comes to being self-aware and figuring out what you like and who you are, is really being able to separate what you think you like and what you actually like. And you can do that by really evaluating what piques your interest. Spending time with yourself is another great way to kind of figure out the things that you actually like to do in your spare time. Do you like to listen to music? Do you like actually doing outdoorsy things? What are the things that bring you genuine happiness? And just trying to kind of figure out things that you actually like, which can also help you figure out different things about who you are. And so I wanted to make sure that I gave you guys the definition of self-awareness, because a lot of times, a lot of people don't know what being self-aware is. And so self-awareness, by definition via Google, is conscious knowledge of one's own character, feelings, motives, and desires. Now I'm going to say that one more time just so you can really understand what self-awareness is. And again, by definition, it is conscious knowledge of one's own character, feelings, motives, and desires. And so as we talk a little bit more about self-awareness, I want us to work toward opening our eyes to seeing ourselves for who we truly are. And I mean the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it, because that's all a part of self-awareness. Questions you can ask yourself are you stubborn? Are you quick to rebuttal? Identify those intrinsic characteristics that may not be positive or good quality characteristics. For me, I know when I get an attitude, it's going to take me a minute to kind of unscrunch my forehead and simmer down. It's going to take me a minute. And I know that about me. So when things do happen that might quickly make me want to like get an attitude or whatever, I know like I'll get myself in my head and I'll be like, all right, girl, you know it take a minute for you to get out this little attitude, but woosah, get it together, because there's no need for all of that. And so just kind of identifying those things. I am a stubborn person. I am. And I know that. But I haven't always known that. Like sometimes you'll like validate your poor characteristics just because you're unaware of what they actually are. And so just making sure that we're being real with ourselves, just about who we are, and not trying to sugarcoat it. Like if you know you have an attitude, acknowledge that you have an attitude. Don't try to be like, I'm not mean or I'm not this. Like I've had people ask me, this is off topic, but like I've had someone ask me before and they're like, or they try to tell me I was picky. And for the longest, I would be like, I'm not picky. Like I'm just plain. Like I just eat my food plain. But after a while, I was like, girl, why do you do all that? Because yes, you are picky, and that's okay. Like it's okay to be picky. And if it's a characteristic that's detrimental to your growth, then first of all, you have to acknowledge it, because the first step is acknowledgement. And you have to know like, hey, like, you are stubborn and it's a problem. Accept that you are stubborn first, and then from there you can kind of like figure out how to improve that, how to check yourself so you're not reacting in stubbornness often and things like that. And so something really big that you're going to see common throughout this entire series is just really spending some time with yourself, spending some time alone, because alone time is necessary to reveal specific things about yourself. And then also listen to the people around you who have your genuine, it honestly don't even have to be people who have your genuine interests at heart, but just kind of like receive any constructive criticism from people around you. Because I saw this video on Instagram and this guy was talking about how like, if you don't brush your teeth, like, and your mouth's right here, like, your nose right above your mouth might not know that your breath stinks, but everyone else in the room knows your breath stinks because they can smell it. But because your nose is right here and it's on your own body, sometimes you can't even smell it yourself. And so, like, it's the ability to acknowledge that I ain't brushed my teeth, so my breath stink. And you need to get that together. You know what I'm saying? And so just not always shutting out constructive criticism from other people, because it might actually help you identify different traits about yourself so you can become a better person and become a better you. And so just accepting those things and taking them and applying them to your self-growth journey, I guess. So like if someone says like, you're a compulsive liar. Are you? Because if you are, maybe that's something you can tuck in and kind of learn to be a little bit more truthful, or not as consistently untruthful. But you guys kind of get what I'm trying to say. Just not automatically blocking out things that people say that might not be positive about your character, but really just being open-minded. And like if your parents tell you like, you stubborn, or like my parents told me, they were like, you spoiled a little bit. And I was like, I used to always be like, no, I'm not spoiled. But after like hearing what they were saying, and I think about it, I'm like, in certain ways I am spoiled, because you guys treat me very well. And in my head, until I acknowledged that I was spoiled a little bit, I just thought they were just treating me nice, treat me how a daughter should be treated. But if you really like open your eyes and your ears to hear like feedback from people, because like I said, they're around you, they could tell that your breath stank even if the nose above your mouth can't. And so just allowing that kind of feedback from people so you can kind of identify more things and become more self-aware about yourself. And so, like I said, just allowing people to give you constructive criticism about potential character flaws so that you can internally improve those things. And so, for example, like when things happen or like you react a certain way that might wave a red flag, like, hello, I'm a character flaw. Like, evaluate what made you react that way so you can kind of get to the root of your motives. Are the moves you're making motivated by jealousy or actual ambition? Like, are you grinding so hard because you want to prove something to other people, or are you grinding hard because you want to prove things to yourself? Like, kind of figuring out like the motives behind why you do what you do and things like that also tie into self-awareness as a whole. And so just being able to ask yourself these questions, it allows you to really take a close look at who you are, how you move, and helping you to understand the person you look at in the mirror better. And so just like pray, ask the Lord to reveal the desires of your heart when it comes to desire. So we talked about the knowledge of your own character, your feelings and motives. And for desires, you can just pray and ask the Lord the desires of your heart. And self-awareness altogether kind of allows you to really dive deep in acknowledging who you are and fully understanding where you are mentally, physically, and spiritually in life. So I hope this episode has blessed somebody. I hope you guys are becoming more self-aware. You guys take some time to yourself so you can kind of really figure out like, okay, who is she? Like, who is he? Like, who am I? And just really digging into the study of yourself. So I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. I'm super excited. Next week, we are talking about self-love. So make sure y'all tune in, subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And until next week.
If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe to the podcast and feel free to connect with me on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Slim Reshae. That's SLIMRESHAE. Links will be listed in the show notes. And until next time, love yourself and be beautiful. When you need to